Welcome back to the final approach. So in the last episode we designed, built and launched two interplanetary craft. One of them made it to orbit and is waiting to depart. The other one, which we were going to send to Joule, and we thought we'd just throw it up there, it had a slight issue with the boosters destroying the launch stack. So I have come up with a cunning plan. Will this work? I have taken our smaller solids, which I'm going to be honest with you, are not actually that small. Normally I'd use some little spin motors or something, but the smallest I have is the mite, which is quite a mass actually. I've got the mites. They've got a little bit of delta V in them, a little tiny bit, which is interesting. I think that's them there, is it? Yes, that is them there. So the idea is they're going to push these side boosters down and away from this center stack. It may work, it may not, I do not know. So we will see. Yeah, fingers crossed on this one. This might work, it might not. We will find out. We might end up not having enough fuel to actually go to Joule, but let's figure that out, shall we? So let's go launch this thing. Right, so here we are on the launch pad, and again we're going to go with a little bit less than maximum thrust, and we're going to take off. There we go, and we're going to start turning straight away because I know this thing is a little bit of a beast when it comes to taking off, and I want to make sure I'm heading a little bit on the southerly way because it tends to turn. And there we go, we'll set it on there. Right, so we're going up. We've got all this lovely thrust going on. It's getting us up to lots of nice speed. We're starting to turn. We should really have a look and see what our probes and stuff say. So our apoaps is now over what, 10? That's good, that's nice, we like that. Right, going up, got a lot of drag going on this thing. I'm a little concerned it's turning off axis a little bit. I wonder whether we need a bit more thrust as we go through the atmosphere. I've probably gone past max Q. There we go, and yes, look at that. Oh, wonderful, just superb. I also changed. I noticed that you may have noticed. I changed the aerodynamic sort of cones on it as well, because I noted that I wonder whether they were actually going to cause the problem. In reality, right, we need to get this down and across because we're going up at a horrible angle. There we go. Put that about there. Yeah, that's it. No, pull back. No, back down now. Oh god, it's awful. It's a terrible launch. Right, there we go. Right. Note to self: fins or something. We need to do a Werner von Braun and put fins on everything because this is just it's not working for me, is it? Right. So there we are. Spinning. Why are we now doing that? Come back here. There we go. You're supposed to be locked. Why are you not holding position? Stability. You've got a vectoring engine on the back there. Why were you not doing that? I'm still getting this phantom pull away from the sort of the equatorial orbit, and I'm not entirely sure what is causing it. I'm finding it a bit weird actually, because it's not only in this save. You know, playing on other stuff and with different rockets, there is a random sort of torque that has appeared, and I'm not entirely sure why. So that's an interesting one. So we're going to go up to about 80 with this one. Hopefully it's semi-equatorial. And we'll see what happens. So kill it about now. There we go. Right, let's have a look at circularizing this bad boy. So we've got about 600 left, which I think will just about get us circular. If this is anything like the last one, yes, it will. So we'll do what we did with the last one. We'll dump this stage just at the last minute, as it were, just as we're getting into orbit. That's 79. Yeah, that's okay. Right. So just as we're getting into orbit, we will dump this stage because there's going to be what, 200 left. So actually, this was ironically a better launch. That's interesting. Did not expect to be saying that. Right. Let's get rid of this fairing. There we go. Unveil the craft. Right, get the RCS on, turn it around a bit. I got a lot of time on this, so actually this performed a better, oddly. I suppose the other one did do a bit of an odd tumble and things, and we probably overdid the engines on the first one at the start because there was a lot of air resistance because we were going very fast low down. Not particularly stable any of these, which is a little annoying actually. I'm not the best flyer of rockets when they're unstable, but yeah. So we're going to just timey-wimey warpy forward a little bit. It says it's going to be a 15-second burn time. It's not. We're going to start it about 5 seconds early. I think I started a little too early last time. So we're going to go about 5 seconds early. And there we go. So start the engine. And we're going to stop it just before we get to orbit. And there we go. Decouple that. Do that. And are we in orbit? Yes, we are. There we go. So that's now in orbit. We can just turn off the RCS. Don't need to do that. Just rotate it until it's in the normal. There we go. And we can actually plan our maneuver. So let's actually have a look at this maneuver planning. So from current orbit, yes, that's good. I want to go to Joule. Where is Joule? There we are. Create that node. What's it say? In a year. Well, you told me on the other thing that it's not a year, so I'm going to assume that it's not a year. Right. Let me have a fiddle around with that. Have I got a slight inclination? Is this the thing? It's now identified as slight inclination. Where does it say on my little alarm clock? It says 6 days. Curb into Joule, 6 days. You say curb into Joule, 6 days. Right. So let's try that again. To Joule. Right. It says to the... Well, why have you done that? 1 day to the moon. I don't want to go to the moon. I want to go to Joule. To Joule. Thank you. Create that. It's doing it again. Why is it? Am I not allowed to create that? Is this the problem? Let's try this again. Can I? Right, so current orbit. Or what if I do minmus? Right, so it can do minmus. Okay. What's this plus? I wonder whether we've actually got an issue from because we haven't actually gone there yet. Is that possible? Right, there you go. So we just had to do some annoying messing around. So that says 1 year. Okay. So it says in a year we're going to burn that way. What way is that way? Ooh, okay. So what if we just, I don't know, move that back to now, maybe. So we want that one there. So I want to do a burn about there. Let's imagine we're doing that now. So we're doing that in 5 days, something like that. Right. So, oh, that's our, what's that? That's our sentinel going along there, isn't it? Right. So prograde. Right, there we go. We got that. So I don't want Drez. I want set as target. Okay. Right. Let me come back here. Let's go to there. Right. We're going to pull this out. I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere near the right location. I don't know. We're going to find out, aren't we? Right. Let's oh, did something. Get rid of that. Zero out that, please. Right. Let's zoom in. Righty-ho. Can I? Nope, doing it again. I don't want to change that. I want to change the position of the node. Right. Okay, let's have a look. Right, there is something there. There's something there. So let's try. Let us try. Doing this. What happens if I do that? Add days on. So we want to be about 4 days from now, don't we? Okay. So it says about 4 days. So let's try that. Of course, I could actually just do this properly, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do it as if I was using the silly alarm clock thing. Right. Let's do a bit of that. Oh, there we go. There's an encounter. That's nice. That's 3,000. That's going to be most of that, some of that. Okay, I'd like it less than that, please. I'd like a cheaper encounter. Give me a cheaper encounter. Nope, that's as much as it's going to be. Okay. Right. You know what? I could actually just pull this along. Bit this out a bit. Right. I think we're at an odd angle, aren't we? So let us take days off. Right. Okay. So I think that we actually need now to move this thing a little bit. Right. Not like that though. Definitely not like that. Right. pull it this way. Yeah, there we go. Right. I wish you could move it like if there was a number for that timing. Is there? Tell me that. Give me advice. Is there a way of migrating this around less than the time that it shows? Because that would be really useful. Oh, look, there's an encounter there. Let's look at that. Let's make this a lot less. Ooh, that could be nice actually. No, that couldn't be nice. That could be nice there. Right, I'm going to continue playing with this until I get a nice. Oh, I've got a nice encounter. Until I refine this encounter and down to as much as possible, and then I will come right back to you. I have. I think I've come up with something a bit weird. So we have. Let me try and explain this to you. So we have an encounter with Jewel here that is in 3 years, which is interesting, and then we've got another one which is in 14 years. Because let's have a look. Let's track this along. So we come out here on this track. Let's put it back to focus on us. So we come out here on this purple track, and this purple track comes in and it interacts with Jewel in about 3 years. It takes about 3 years to do that. Okay. So 3 years. We interact with Jewel. Because of the flyby, that kicks us up into this orbit here, which we go round and round and come back again. And then we go and have an interaction in 14 years where we go past Jewel again. And this then sends us out into our correction. We go into the red path first, then it kicks us out, and we leave Jewel and go into this orange action here, and then I can't trace anything else. But I think we get another. Interaction. So that must be because we're in some sort of resonance with Jewel at this point, and we're just getting a kick. So I think that's quite cool. This craft might be able to go into orbit, but having that ability to go past Jewel a few times would be really cool. Plus it's a nice little communications bumper there. So I think we're going to go for that. That's in 4 days. Let's do that, I think. So, hello. Right. It is going to take almost all the fuel in this tank, which is fine because this tank we're just going to get rid of, and then it leaves us with this nice nimble upper stage probe to deal with. So let us fast forward to the correct time. Here we go. Right, so we have a burn that we need to do soon. So let's get this craft rotated into the position. Now, I do not have a probe core that will keep me on the node, which is annoying, but you know, it's not terrible. It does mean, however, that we're likely to not get the beautiful little alignment that I had set. So we're not likely to get the perfect, beautiful little interaction multiple times with Jewel, but it's always nice to have something like that lined up. Right. So we're going to start in 30 seconds. The good thing is we know that this timer is actually accurate because this engine is going to use all of that fuel. We're going to use every single drop of it, so that's good. We'll slow down towards the end. So I'm going to start a little smidgen early. We'll start... burn time is that. Node is in that. I don't agree with those then. This to me doesn't sound right, but okay, we'll go with it. We'll go with what the advanced programming is in 1.12 has told us. So there we go. Fire the engines. Right. So this will mean that, okay, I suppose it's probably front weighted to counteract the mass change and the thrust change, relative thrust to weight ratio, which would be quite nice actually if it did that. I don't know if it does, but if it does that, that'd be quite good, because it definitely isn't the 50% either side of the start point. Right, so let's have a look. How are we going? We are going nice right now. This is going to take a minute or two. And then we have to refine it, and I need to go up just a smidgen. There we go. Up a little bit more, a bit more, a bit more. There we go. Just to there. There we go. That's it. That's nice. That's good. Well done. Do to that. I think we're going to put RCS on and give me a little bit of fine control there. There we go. Yep, and we can do a bit of thrusting like that. Use some of the RCS up actually. Get that out of the way. There we go. We're now leaving the sphere of influence of Kerbin. Or at least this is what this orbit's going to do for us. Let's have a look. So we should, if we actually go out here, we better see now. There we go. So now this is the amount of thrust we require to get to June orbit, or whatever you want to call it. So we know we've got that on that stage done. Right. Now we're heading out here. This is the important one. So we're going to focus the view on this, and we're going to look. We're going to see what happens as we get into this. And we're actually going to. I'm going to throttle the engines back a bit when we get near it, because we're already heading out. We can just slow things down just a smidgen, and try and just bring this. I don't think we're on target there. There we go. That's better. That's better. That's better. Over there. I'm going to pull this right down. Right. So we've got about 6.7 meters per second to go, and we're actually not too bad, are we? So we're just going to align ourselves up, and I could actually use RCS for this, I think. So let's do that. Yeah, we can actually. Here we go. Ooh, what's that? Was that a second encounter? Was that the one I want? Well, it does give us a second encounter in 14 years. It's different. So I think we'll go with that, actually. I think we will sit with that. That's actually quite nice. We get a second encounter that's really distant. Or do we try and refine this and bring it up a bit? How much have we got? We've got 39. This stage is not going to be able to do that. So I think we just go for a fly into dual sphere of influence, and then, we'll send something better in the future. Okay, right. So with that in mind, get rid of that. Now we do not want to put anything into. Oh, this is going to be annoying, isn't it? This is actually going to throw us off. Right. When I decouple this is going to throw this track off. Right, let's have a look. So we've decoupled, we've gained something. Are we okay? Right, okay. So that craft has taken the energy, hopefully. And this has hopefully not affected us. Right. So what do I want to do? I don't want to put a maneuver in. Get rid of that. We want to put a thing in. We want to do create alarm for sphere of influence change. Yeah, go sphere of influence change. We're going to add that alarm. There we go. That's grip 2. What is this? Oh, I've got maneuvers everywhere, haven't I? I don't want that. I don't want grip 2 there either. I don't want grip 2 to Minmus. We've got grip 1 Juna. Okay, it's very easy to get these things in here and do dual. I don't want that. Ooh, I wonder what that is. Was that because of something? That's the later one, isn't it? Right, so we've just added all of those to there. Right. We've got sphere of influence in 1 day. Let's go experience that, I think. And we'll see how this is going. Hello, how are we doing? Yes, right. So, are we getting sunlight? We are. Can we extend this? Yes, we can. What we can do, and I must remember to do, is let's set the action groups. Edit action groups. So, number 1, what do I want? I want this thing to run. I want this thing to log. I want this thing to log. And I want, have I got ability to do a little report here? I can do a action wheel, no, Curb access, don't care about that. Toggle hibernation, don't need that. Now, number 2 will be this, which will be observe mystery goo. We'll save that for when we're doing stuff. So let's try those action groups now. I quite like the fact you can add, change your action groups. It used to be you always had to plan ahead of if you were going to, and we've got no science to do, have we now? You used to always have to plan ahead on your action groups, and if you had a big construct that was many docked craft, it was an absolute nightmare. Right, let's get this. Use the @ key. I don't believe it's the @ key for everybody. I think it's just the @ key for me. So we're going to just head towards this here. How can I just? I want to go forward. Let me go forward. Right, we're going to go forward a day. Oh, it's been in orbit 4 days. That's interesting. I suppose we did spin around, didn't we? So let's see if this alarm clock kicks in nicely. Let's have a look. It's going to take its time. It's going to be early, is it? No, maybe not. No, it's hours. That's interesting. We're going so fast to get out there in that short period of time, actually, compared to when you go to Minmus, because you're trying to slow down at peak, aren't you? Right, here we go. Coming up to our sphere of influence. Sphere of influence. Delete and close. Okay. Can I just fast forward through that? Let's have a look. This is where it all goes wrong. We end up. I'm an old school player, so in my mind, this is where it all goes wrong, and I lose all my tracking stuff. Right. We zoom out a bit. We're now on the solar track, and do I have an encounter with Joule? Let's go to focus view, and I do. There we go. So we're going to come underneath the pole, and it's a long way away. I know this is a really bad, we're not going to get any interactions with these. Potentially, we could look at doing this. We could actually do a capture. I think we have the delta V for it, possibly. Right, no, we don't. We don't even have the delta V for a capture. So part of that reason is probably because we're so far out. If we did another burn, and or if we'd refined our burn and come up really close to here into this plane, we'd have got O-berth effect at near the planet, and then we could use either gravity assist if we'd have come around the correct side, which I think would have been, let me get this right, we'd come around this side here. We could have got a gravity assist. Or we could have just used O-berth effect as well, which would have been a really bonus for us to get into orbit there. We shouldn't need this much delta V to actually get into orbit of Joule, but it's a first probe out of the sphere influence of Kerbin, apart from the Sentinel, but this one's actually going somewhere, so that's nice. Check that it's looking okay. It's got full electricity, it's got everything working, and of course, we'll turn that into allow partial. This is now going to be a little relay for us, flying through the solar system. So if we ever need it, it's there, which is nice. Right. So I'll tell you what. I think we're gonna also get that Juno mission launched. So let's go do that one as well. Here we are in orbit with Grape 1, and I set up an alarm for a sphere of influence change for Grape 2 for when it arrives in Joule, and it was telling me that it would be in X number of years, which is the correct time. However, as soon as I come back to this craft or I go to the tracking station, it triggers it. So I don't know if that's a glitch or not. It says that this is 171 days ago, which is a bit odd. So yeah, we'll leave that. We'll have to set it again in the future. Maybe when a few days have gone by and it's no longer near Kerbin's sphere of influence, that might be what we need to do. So we do have this maneuver to do. And we know it's going to take us nearby, and it's going to take a while to get there, but that doesn't really bother me. So we've got 56 days to wait. We're going to time warp that. I should point out, yes, I am well aware that we have an unfinished mission, and we'll get to that next episode actually, and I'll talk to you about it. But I just wanted to get these things set off actually and do something that wasn't just a repetition of previous things before. So this is going to come out. Let's actually have a look at where we're aiming to get to, because it looks, yeah, so it's going to come out, it's going to go to June, and we're going to set as target. We're going to focus view. So this thing's going to come in, and it's not that close, is it? Can I improve this? Let's actually have a look. Can we improve this? So we can do this by clicking over here to orbit, move that to maneuver 1, do this. Right. Can we just have a little fiddle with this? What happens if I do this? Oh, we get a bit closer, that's nice. And then what if I do a bit of that? That doesn't really do much. What we can do is right click on that. It shows us the distance. Right, that's going, what's going doing. Okay, that's like that. Keep doing a bit of this. Okay, and will that will help us a little bit. Then maybe do a bit more of that. We're going to walk it in. We're going to walk it in because we've got quite a lot of delta V, so we can just walk this. This is not the most efficient. I should point out, this is not the most efficient way of doing this. You're basically doing some odd burnings here, but we're going to just bring it in ever so gently. There we go. Okay, that's getting a bit nicer, isn't it? So we're going to be coming in on a reasonably polar sort of plane, which is annoying, but it's not disastrous for us, if I'm honest. We're going a bit too far there. Right, let's go up again a bit more, and there we go. Oh, now that's interesting. What are we getting there? That's an Ike encounter. Oh, I like that. I like Ike. So what we'll do is we'll try and get this. I don't know if we'll get that Ike encounter, but we'll come in, we'll grab the Ike encounter, come here, and then out here when we get to the periaps, we'll do our capture burn. It'll pull us into a highly elliptical capture. And then we can do either a plane change or something else. And actually looking at that, it's not going to be brilliant, but we may have enough to do some interesting orbital stuff when we're doing it. So that's what we're going to go for. So let's go do it. And the next episode, we'll deal with those pesky Kerbals again, I think. Right, time warping as fast as we can. I have fast forwarded to roughly the right time. We had a really interesting thing happen there where it was saying that it was on maximum time warp, but it was actually moving down as though it was on about 2 onto the thing there. So I thought we'd actually spun past the time, but actually the time change was weird. It was very odd. I'm not entirely sure what was going on. It said it had auto time warp completed, but the screen was still spinning around. So that was an odd one. It's a day of glitches today, isn't it? It's a day of glitches. So let's have a look. We've had our alarm clock go wrong. Now we've got this. So I'm going to actually get rid of that alarm clock. There we go. So, and we haven't got the other one yet, so that's fine. Right, we're gonna actually time warp now. Here we go. Just slowly time warping, gently time warping to the desired point. There we go. Thank you. No. Pause. Stop. What's going on? Oh my! Lucky I did that then. So did you? I hope you caught that. It was actually skipping past. So there's something going on with my time warping at the moment. So I may need to restart the game a bit, but we'll see. That's very odd. I wonder if it's something to do with this. Anyway. Or when this node was created, or how it's working. Maybe I'm not understanding something properly. So let's turn the craft over and get it on that node. We've got about 40 seconds, so that's not terrible. There we go. And this is a reasonably quick burn. It's only going to be 1,000 meters per second, so it's not a killer actually. There we go. Pop that there. Right, you'll see we've got a slight angle there. Obviously we're putting a bit of angle in because we want to come in close to Juna, and I think it's actually quite high up. Oh, what's that there? We're gonna, oh please tell me we don't thrust into our own launch stage. That shouldn't be there. That is 50 kilometers away, so that shouldn't be a problem. I wonder what it is. I don't want to target it and find out. Right, let's start this up. So we're going to have a load of this stage left, and it's going to be a decision as to whether we keep it with us or not, which will be quite interesting, because this probably is enough to actually bring us into orbit around Juna. And if we do that, if we go into Juna or whatever you want to call it, with this, that means this whole probe here then becomes sort of available to us for Ike missions, things like that. And I think we might actually have thrust await for Ike landing. I'll need to check. Maybe I'll go into the VAB and check that, because you can go in the VAB and just set it to the different planetary bodies that you're looking at, and it will tell you whether you've got the delta V, as long as your delta V is above a certain value, and that's 1. Anything above 1 is fine for that planet. Well, in reality you need it to be well above 1, but that's just to do with braking and slowing down. So there we go. Just to bring that into there, we're going to just pull this down just a smidgen. There we go. We're now leaving the Kerbal sphere of influence on this path. That's nice. And we're going to stop this a little early once we get nearby. There we go. That's it. Get it on the node, and we're going to stop it there. Right. Let's go back here and have a look. Have we got anything? Right. RCS time. Is this going to... In fact, you know what? Just let's do this. Just bring it in a bit. We don't need to use RCS for that. Just bring it in a little bit, and we should start to see the interaction. Where is our orbit currently? It's about to hit it, isn't it? Or have we gone past? Oh, there we are. Right, and stop it. Right. So we're now within, knock RCS off. We're now within sort of touching distance, aren't we? So we're just going to use our RCS to just bring us in a bit. There we go. Oh, that's interesting. So I'll actually use some translation controls. This is one thing you can do. If you've got a craft with translation controls on, oh, that's nice. You can. We had a little encounter with Ike there. I don't really want. Do I want to do an Ike encounter? I really want to do an Ike encounter before we actually do. Oh, now that's perfect. So we get the Ike encounter before we actually come to Juna. That means we can get the Ike encounter out the way, and then we can circularize. I don't want to have an Ike encounter after coming in, so we're going to come in this way. We're going to have an Ike encounter, and then we're going to come out, and then we can circularize it perhaps. If we'd have waited for the first one here, we'd have come in, and we'd have probably needed to circularize at Juna, which means we wouldn't have got the encounter. Close that, please. Thank you. We wouldn't have got the encounter, or we'd have had to circularize beyond Ike, which is really inefficient. We probably wouldn't have managed it because we wouldn't have had enough delta V to do it, and it would cause all manner of problems. So that's what we're doing. We're going to go for this. Right, so I'm going to set some alarms up, but from me, until next time when we're going to finally bring some Kerbals back, have a great one.